Okay, what if I told you that you have the power to save a life right now? In the next few minutes, we're going to break down the simple steps of CPR that could give you that exact power. First up, let's get real about why this matters so much. When a cardiac arrest strikes, every single second counts. And you know who's most likely going to be there? It's not a doctor or a paramedic, it's you. Take a look at this number, 70%. That is the percentage of cardiac arrests that happened at home. Think about that for a second. This isn't some abstract problem for strangers. This is a family problem. And this is exactly why it's so personal. When you learn CPR, you're not just preparing for some random emergency. You're preparing for the moment you might have to save someone you love, your child, your spouse, your parent. That's why this is so absolutely critical. So what exactly is a cardiac arrest? Well, think of it like an electrical problem. The heart's wiring suddenly goes haywire, and it just stops beating completely. That means no blood is getting to the brain or other organs. Without immediate help, death can happen in just a few minutes. Now, this next part is hugely important. A lot of people use the terms cardiac arrest and heart attack like they're the same thing. They're not. And knowing the difference is vital because it tells you exactly what you need to do. Here's the easiest way to remember it. A heart attack is a plumbing problem. A blockage, like a clogged pipe, stops blood from flowing to the hearts, but the person is often still awake, they can talk to you. A cardiac arrest, on the other hand, is an electrical problem. The whole system short circuits and shuts down. The person will be unconscious and won't be breathing normally. CPR is for cardiac arrest. All right, let's get right into the core actions. And I promise, this isn't complicated. It's a simple, memorable sequence that's designed for anyone to follow, even when your heart is pounding and you're under a ton of stress. Before you do anything else, the first thing is to check the scene. Is it safe for you to help? No downed power lines, no oncoming traffic. Your safety has to come first. Next, check the person. Are they breathing? Put your ear close to their mouth and listen for about 10 seconds. If they're out cold and not breathing, your next move is instant. Call 911. Let me be absolutely clear about this. You do not need a special certificate to do this. The 911 dispatcher who answers the phone will guide you through every single step. Don't ever let the fear of not being perfect stop you from doing something. Okay, let's talk about the compressions. Your form is everything here. You're going to place the heel of one hand right in the center of the chest. Then put your other hand on top and lace your fingers together. Now, the most important part, lock your elbows straight and get your shoulders right over your hands. That way, you're using your body weight to push, not just your arms. It makes all the difference. And here is your target. You need to push hard and fast at a rate of 100 to 120 compressions every minute. That pace is absolutely key to keeping oxygen-rich blood moving. But, how do you keep that rhythm? Here's a trick that actually works, and it's fantastic. The beat of the Bee Gees song Staying Alive is about 103 beats per minute, which is right in that perfect zone for CPR. Just get that song going in your head and it'll help you keep the perfect pace. Now, a lot of people are scared they might break the person's ribs. And the reality is, yeah, that can happen. You need to push hard. But you have to remember this. Someone in cardiac arrest is dying. A broken rib can heal. Your action is their only shot at survival. So what about rescue breaths, the mouth-to-mouth part? Well, the latest guidelines say they're optional if you're a bystander. If you're not trained or you're just not comfortable, just focus on the compressions. Compression-only CPR is incredibly effective. The number one thing is to keep pushing hard and fast on the center of their chest. Just don't stop. Okay, let's move on to another amazing life-saving tool that you might find nearby. A lot of public places, offices, gyms, airports, they now have something called an AED, or Automated External Defibrillator. An AED is this smart little box that can literally shock a heart back into a normal rhythm. It analyzes the heart's electricity and decides all by itself if a shock is the right thing to do. And the best part? They are designed so that anyone can use them even with zero medical background. Using an AED is unbelievably simple. You just turn it on, a calm voice will start talking you through every single step, it shows you exactly where to put the pads, then it analyzes the heart's rhythm on its own. It will only tell you to push the shock button if it's necessary, so you literally cannot make a mistake. So, what does this all add up to? It means that you, just a regular person who decides to step up and act, you can be that critical link between life and death. But look at this. This is the sobering truth. Only 46% of people who have a cardiac arrest outside of a hospital get the immediate help they need from a bystander. More than half get no help at all. You can be the one to change that statistic for someone.
If you remember only one single thing from all this, let it be this. Your action is so much more important than your perfection. Doing something is infinitely better than doing nothing. Just pushing hard and fast in the center of the chest keeps blood flowing to the brain and gives that person their absolute best chance.
And really, that's what this all comes down to. This knowledge is yours now. It's simple, it's powerful, and it saves lives. The only question left is, when that moment comes, will you be ready?